Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. It is another episode of Financial Fundamentals. Um, February 7, we are live. This week, we're going to do the thing. We're going to talk about love and money. So, we're going to talk smart spending for both couples and singles. So, not to worry, we're not leaving anybody out. Um, but yeah, figure with Valentine's Day coming up, Hallmark holidays and all of that. But it is important that we talk about it because it's a topic that affects all of us. Money, relationships, but we're going to throw a little twist in as we like to do. So if you're in a relationship, we're going to break down how to manage finances as a couple, from date nights to big financial decisions. If you're single, you're also going to want to hang out because where you've got some good long-term buying strategies. This helps for everybody, but long-term buying strategies to help save money year-round by shopping smarter. So whether you're planning a romantic dinner, looking to score deals on next season's essentials, definitely got stuff in store for everybody. So let's jump right in. Uh, so uh, First, we'll talk couples and cash. Um, Money, it's one of the biggest sources of tension in relationships. It seems to always be one of those big stressors, but it doesn't have to be. So here's how to keep finances uh, in relationships in your love life in harmony. So understand money mindsets. We all come from different backgrounds and we all come into relationships with different financial backgrounds. And maybe you grew up in a family that saved every penny. Maybe, uh, you know, somebody else was used to enjoying money in the moment. Um, the first step is to understand how each person views money and understand it without judgment. So just try asking each other, what was money like in your house when you were growing up? Just to get an idea of how family life and how it was viewed and treated, um, as a family and from an early age, just to have an idea and an understanding of what kind of formed some of those views, um, in those formative years. And then how to have the money talk. Um, the sooner you have a conversation about money, the better. Talk about spending habits, talk about savings goals, debt situations, future financial plans. Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to have kids? Do you want fancy luxury cars or minivans or pickup trucks or, et cetera, et cetera? Um, it's not a one-time conversation either. These are ongoing dialogues. They're going to evolve as the relationship does. So have regular check-ins, to make sure that you're still in line and that you still understand where each other are, with all of those things. Um, Next, combining or keeping finances separate. So the big question, do you merge your accounts or do you keep things separate? Um, or do you take a hybrid approach? There's not a one size fits all answer to this. But there's three kind of basic approaches most people take. There's all in, everything's together, you know, all of it just pooled together no matter what. Completely separate is the other one. No matter what, everything is separated. Mine is mine, yours is yours. There's no intermixing. And then hybrid model. There's like a shared account for bills and joint expenses. And then each person's got their own personal account for their own individual spending. The important part and what matters the most is that both people feel comfortable and on the same page and have an understanding and it feels good that both have talked about it, and it feels like the right choice. Um, then then next is have a smart date night, and intelligent and comfortable gifting strategies. It doesn't have to be a competition. It doesn't have to be this big overblown thing unless that's what you both agree to. You don't have to spend a fortune to show somebody you care about them or love them. Some of the best date nights are inexpensive or even free. Some great examples. Together, you can cook a meal together instead of dining out. A shared experience is often very fulfilling and rewarding. You can take advantage of free local events. There's oftentimes, very fun and informative or educational things that people can go to. Set spending limits on gifts, and that avoids pressure. So it doesn't feel like a competition, or it doesn't feel like so you got outdone or something like that. Um, so now I promised that this wasn't entirely about relationships. So let's move over to, some tips and strategies for our single folks as well. So some smart shopping habits, some smart planning things, and strategic things. There you might not be planning for couples. It might be uh, families, or even just for yourself. But that doesn't mean you can't save a ton of money by being strategic with your spending. So the power of buying off season is can't be understated. It's things like, have you ever noticed, like, the day after Valentine's Day, how inexpensive that candy is? Same logic applies to all sorts of things all year round. Winter clothes, they're the cheapest in March. Outdoor furniture, grills, things like that, far best prices in fall. Tech gadgets, right after the newest model launches. Travel, you get the best rates during off peak seasons. And the list goes on and on. If you plan ahead instead of buying the stuff in the moment, in the impulse, you can save hundreds, if not thousands, over time. So make a plan and plan ahead, and you can really put those dollars to work and not have to do without. If you have a plan and think ahead, that money goes a lot farther. So the cautionary tale, and we see this um, a lot, is the difference of stocking up versus hoarding. Okay, so it's a fine line. So there's smart stockpiling, and there's just filling up your house with stuff you don't need. So ask yourself, do I actually use this product regularly? Will it go bad before I use it? Am I just buying it because it's on sale? So, like, think think about, okay, how much of this do I use? How long is it going to take before I'm going to use all of this up? And is it really, like, necessary to get this much of it? And so, like, be smart about it. Okay, we don't want to just impulse buy 18,000 rolls of toilet paper, for example. Okay, but by being proactive and thinking ahead, you can really give yourself a lot of uh, head start, and give yourself a lot more advantage with your money. So the strategy is buy it for your future self. Give your future self a gift. I think about this a lot with other habits that I do, is giving my future self a gift, right? So instead of doing something last minute and buying it full price, think about future you, right? Like, Um, Holiday gifts are a perfect example. If you know that you have birthday or holiday gifts coming up every year, if you can get it while it's on sale in the off season, right? And you know you're getting these things every year, it saves you time come holiday season, saves you money, and you've got it, taken care of. You can get it on clearance or whatever. If you are always getting yourself a new pair of sneakers or shoes or a new hat or whatever every year, if you wait for them to go on sale rather than getting them as soon as the urge strikes and you're paying full price, you're doing yourself a favor and saving a considerable amount of money. Um, so thinking about future you, giving yourself a gift ahead of time. Um, Basically, the goal: spend less without sacrificing on quality or convenience. Um, once you start doing it, you, it's the same amount of effort, it's the same amount of time. Um, so it's not like it's more work. So you just are shifting the habit to a different time. You're saving money, and you're you're not sacrificing on the quality. You're just saving a little bit of money, and then you're never going back from that. It's just a little bit of a shift. So really good way to save yourself some money, and give yourself a little bit of a break, um, especially towards those peak seasons when everybody else is last minute shopping. So uh, yeah, short little one this week, but some key takeaways. Um, if you're in a relationship, have that money talk. Sit down, have the conversation. Go over that stuff. It's important, and do it regularly. Maybe a monthly or every other month check in and just make sure you're still on the same page. Whether you're gonna pool all your money and you know everything's gonna be joint, everything's gonna be separate, or you're gonna go with the hybrid approach. Whatever works best in your relationship. Set the shared goals. Make sure those goals still match up from time to time. And don't let the finances create tension. Another key point when you're having this talk and when you're talking about finances is to also think about how the splitting of financial burden comes in. Sometimes that's going to shift if there's a mismatch in income, then there needs to also maybe be a shift in where the um, burden on who's covering what, because there may be a difference in who's picking up what as far as other responsibilities and things like that. It's important to have this conversation and make sure that things are talked about, because resentments can come in if it's not talked about, it's not agreed upon, and people don't feel like they're being taken advantage of or anything like that. So it's far more important to just have the conversation, because you don't want those unspoken resentments to come in. Um, and, for everybody, single or otherwise, um, saving money, just do it in the off season. Wait until like the day after or the month after, and those things always go on clearance. They want to get the inventory out of there that they didn't sell to the people who were last minute buying. So think ahead, save some major cash, and get the things you were going to get anyway. Get the same quality for much less. Um, so yeah, set a budget for your Valentine's Day coming up. Talk about it ahead of time and make a plan. And you guys will have just as good of a time. You won't feel the pressure, and you might even enjoy yourselves more because there won't be the anxiety, there won't be the stress, and you'll have already talked about it. So, and something for everybody to do here as well. Think about something that you're regularly buying, something that you're normally like going through on a regular basis, and think about if it's something that you can buy in the off season. If it's a seasonal thing, see if it's something that you can wait until afterwards and get at a discount instead, and see how much you can save by planning ahead and getting it out of season. Um, so yeah, next time uh, we're gonna be checking in on uh, some other tools here that uh, are gonna help with guilt, um, and money. So we're gonna take next week off, but the following week we're going to come back and we're going to take a little bit deeper dive into the uh, approaching money and looking at it without guilt, and how to take a deep dive into your money habits, and you know approach it from a perspective of doing some analysis on the history that you've had with money, how you were raised with it, and getting a good idea of like your psychology behind it, and how to maybe take a shift on it, but then how to pivot and maybe take some time to how to really build a picture of where you really want to go. And I know for me, I had a hard time thinking about what that really looked like and what I really actually wanted out of my financial picture. Like, I wasn't entirely sure of what that looked like. So, gonna go into a little bit more of the psychology of how to think about the intangibles of money, and how to kind of help build that picture of what do we really want out of it. Um, what do we really want money to do for us? Because we can't eat money, it's not going to feed us. So it's just a tool. So we need it to we're looking for something more out of it, and we need it to do something for us. So I'm going to try to help us get to the good stuff and help build that picture for you. So, like I said, a little bit of a shorter episode this week. We're going to take next week off. Um, Appreciate you stopping in. And if this is something that helps you out, if you would help the channel, throw us a like, subscribe, share it with some friends. And yeah, toss a comment down below with anything that you liked about it, any tips you have um, for money stuff, or anything that you'd like to see us cover. And hop over to the Discord. We're always in there. Otherwise, you know, like we always say, money, just like recovery, it's like progress, not perfection. So enjoy your Valentine's Day, Super Bowl Sunday, and all of that. And we will see you in